The Springboks November tour is wrapping up on a high note, but with a squad that's about to get dramatically smaller, leaving fans wondering if this powerhouse team can still dominate against Wales. Rassie Erasmus, the South African head coach, has revealed that he'll only be taking around 24 or 25 players across the Irish Sea for the final match in Cardiff next Saturday. After securing victories over Japan, France, Italy, and Ireland in locations like London, Paris, Turin, and Dublin, this 5-game series is set to end on a strong note. But here's where it gets controversial. Due to the game falling outside the official World Rugby player release window, Erasmus is forced to field a significantly reduced team because of club commitments. This means stars like Thomas du Toit and Bowen Venter, the starting props who were instrumental in overpowering Ireland's scrum in the 24-13 win last Saturday, won't be available, as they must return to their English and Scottish clubs. For beginners in rugby, the player release window is like a scheduled break where clubs agree to let players join national teams without penalty. But since this Wales fixture doesn't fall within that period, clubs have the final say. It's a balancing act that highlights the clash between international glory and club loyalty, a topic that often divides rugby enthusiasts. Is prioritizing club rules over national success fair, or does it undermine the spirit of the game? Let's dive in and unpack this intriguing scenario. Erasmus admitted it's a real juggling act, and during his post-match interview in Dublin, he even stumbled over some player names, showing how hectic things have become. On top of that, several players are heading back to Japanese teams as their new season kicks off next week. To put this in perspective, the Japanese Rugby Union was flexible earlier when South Africa's match against Japan happened just before the release window opened on November 1st. So Erasmus felt it's only right to reciprocate by releasing players now. When asked about the number of absentees from the squad that beat Ireland, he said, "Quite a few." He listed players like Thomas, Bowen, R.G. Sneijnen, Edwill van der Merwe, who plays in the United Rugby Championship, and Kurtley Arendse, who's sidelined with a concussion. Apelele Thasi is also out, and others such as Grant Williams are returning to the Sharks in South Africa. Erasmus mentioned consulting with URC officials, meaning the training group next week will be down to just 25 players. They'll assess injuries from the Ireland game that night, and more players might head to Japan, including Jesse Creel, who can't play. Mania Libak is another one going back to his Japanese club as their season starts soon, and they've requested his return. All in all, Erasmus estimates about 14 or 15 players from the current squad won't make the trip to Wales. And this is the part most people miss. Even with these absences, some key players like Edwill will stay on, while others depart. It's a fluid situation that underscores the challenges of managing a national team in a global sport. Now, onto the Welsh side. Could this thinned-out Springboks team give Wales a real shot at an upset? Erasmus doesn't think so, as even a thrilling victory for Steve Tandy's squad wouldn't dethrone South Africa from the top of the World Rugby rankings. South Africa currently has a comfortable lead over New Zealand in second, but a loss in Cardiff could drop them 2 spots on the ladder. This is where opinions diverge. Some argue that rankings are just numbers, while others see them as crucial for future World Cup draws, where finishing in the top 6 avoids the dreaded pool of death. Erasmus reflected modestly on the team's goals, saying their aim this year was to finish in the top 4. A realistic target given they've used 50 players, retained the Rugby Championship title, and won 11 of 13 tests. Beating Ireland, ranked 4th, was a big statement, even if it might have seemed predictable. But losing to Wales could sting, and Erasmus pointed out they've only dropped 2 matches this year, including an early shock from Australia in the Rugby Championship and 2 last year. Injuries to key figures like Otzen Che and Jan-Hendrik Wessels, plus Frans Malherbe not returning until June, forced them to integrate younger talents, improving their depth but requiring more work to maintain supremacy. In short, the Springboks are navigating a delicate balance between celebrating their successes and addressing the hurdles ahead, like player availability and ranking drops. But here's the controversial angle. Is it short-sighted for World Rugby to allow fixtures outside the release window, potentially weakening teams and exciting mismatches? Or does it respect the club game, which funds many players' livelihoods? Erasmus emphasized the need to stay in the top 4 to avoid a tough World Cup pool draw in December. What do you think? Does this system unfairly handicap national teams, or is club first the right approach in modern rugby? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with Erasmus's assessment, or would you push for stricter release windows to protect international rugby?